Hi, morning traders. Once again, welcome to Market Snapshot. I'm sure there's a lot that we'll need to cover today, especially now that yesterday there was a bank holiday. We had the Labor Day in the US. And so most of the bank holidays, of course, just like the Labor Day in Kenya, this is a day where employees get to spend time with their families. So of course there wasn't so much activity, but in the market we'll see there were some moves actually. So there was a bit of volatility, but what ideally we expect is anytime there's a bank holiday, you'll expect some action to play out the next day. Now this is the week where we have NFP on Friday, and so we should anticipate some market moves as we head into NFP, especially on Thursday when we'll be looking at the unemployment claims and also the ISM services PMI. And so let's see what we have, but ideally stay tuned for this because you also have the Canadian unemployment data that will be coming out on Friday. So be on the lookout for this. A lot of volatility will play out. So like what we had last time, NFP numbers, the previous number was 114. So guys are expecting that this time around we'll have 164K. So once again, if this number comes out lower, then we anticipate the dollar to weaken. However, if the number comes up higher than this, we should see the dollar strengthening. So on this note, welcome everyone who's joining in. There's something interesting that we are doing. As FX Pesa, we'll be having live trading in all our satellite offices. So we'll have one, not all, sorry, in Nakuru, Tower 1. We'll have live trading in the afternoon. It's a PIPSM branch, but this one now will be more of live trading. And then we'll also have live trading in Eldoret. We'll also have one in Eldoret, and then for those in Nairobi, we'll have one at Indigo Space. That is in Westlands. For more on this, kindly let me share the details. Just look at the FX Pesa social. So this is what we have. So 6th September, as you can see, Indigo co-working space in Westlands, Rupa's Mall, Eldoret, third floor, Tower 1, Eldoret, Tower 1 in Nakuru, third floor. So kindly, if you're interested in participating in this session, just come in, register, and we look forward to hosting you. So Rufus and James will be in Nairobi, Ian and I will be in Eldoret, and then Patrick will be in Nakuru. So we look forward to having more of you guys coming in. At least let's come in, let's learn, get market insights, and then later at 4, we'll have a team doing the live trading. So that's it on Pips and Branch. So we look forward to hosting you guys. Let's go back to our presentation. Let's see what we have now today. So today we anticipate to have some market moves, especially during New York session, the ISM manufacturing PMI. And basically what we have right here is basically the forecast is that it will be 47.5. So previously it was 46.8. This is an increase. So if this number comes out higher than what we have, then we expect the dollar to strengthen. Right? If this number comes out at, let's say, 48, we expect the dollar to strengthen. Actually, later as we go into the technicals, I'm looking forward to a bullish dollar. But then again, we'll just have to wait and see. So if this number comes out anything lower than 47.5, let's say 47 or even 46, then we expect the dollar to weaken. All right. So that is what basically we're looking at. That's the fundamentals that we have. Remember, we normally insist that every time when you wake up as a trader, we have 3 types of analysis. We have the technical, we have the fundamental, and we have the sentimental. So when you're looking at the fundamental, you're looking at the economic data or even political data that could impact your positions. Then when you're looking at technicals, this is where now you're looking at historical price data to determine future price movements, and that is what we are about to step into. So make sure every day when you wake up, have a look at your calendar. You could use Forex Factory. We could be looking at my FX book. You could be looking at investing.com. You could be looking at trading economics. So if we go to, for example, maybe trading economy. So we can see how the currencies have been. As we get into our charts, we can see how they've been performing daily and even weekly, monthly, year on year. And so we can see a lot of movements over here. But then again, we'll get to understand why we have this bearish push on these pairs, and mainly it's because of what we anticipate, that the dollar will continue strengthening. But then again, something could change. Overall, it's an NFP week, so you'll expect some fake moves to happen. Because ideally, there are areas that we call liquidity areas where traders get to be trapped, and then the market will just whipsaw you. So look forward to having more on this, especially for Eldoret guys. Will be there. Ian and I will be there, and we look forward to have a fruitful session on as we wait for NFP later. So remember, the event will be from 1 to 4, right? So make sure by 1 you're there. We'll have a lot of networking, and then we'll get to learn more on the markets before we wait for NFP at 3:30. So when we look at opportunities, maybe there's some news I had seen with regards to oil. The Brent holds decline on higher supply prospects. So there's been a lot of if you look at the US has been involved in the production of oil, and so a lot of oil is coming in to the pipeline, and so we anticipate the prices of oil to continue dipping. But then again, there's an analysis we had done last Tuesday in our last market snapshot. We'll have a look at that in a few and see what really played out in that week. So let's go to our charts and get to see how now the possible moves that will happen courtesy of as we get into courtesy of the ISM manufacturing PMI as we get into New York session. However, London session, we don't expect so much moves. So a lot of moves will be coming in during the New York session. So prepare your questions and we'll have a look at them towards the end. So I'll go to my MT5. So in our previous analysis, we were looking for short opportunities on USDCHF to this low, which was the low of August. And we can see the market played out, came to that low. Let's see what was the drawdown like. That 1 pips drawdown, and then we can see a bullish engulfing over here, a really strong bullish engulfing, indicating that the dollar is quite strong, and this is what has led to this bullish push. So let's remove these analyses. And let's map out USDCHF from higher time frames. Let's try and see what's really happening. Yeah, so if we go to the weekly, look at that formation. We can see a bullish push because the yearly low was tested, which was this low over here. So actually this was the low that was set out. I think this was in August. And so we can see a morning star over here. So this tells you that this is indeed a bullish push on USDCHF. So we are anticipating long pushes. So if we go to lower time frames, we now ideally want to look for entries. So if we go to H1, maybe we're looking at this bearish push that is coming in, and the purpose of this bearish push should be to give you a better entry, right? Buy IUSD at a cheaper price. So basically we are looking at buying the dips, right? So I want to map out the Asian low, which is the lowest price during the Asian session. So this is an area I would want to look at on USDCHF. However, another area we could maybe be looking at is yesterday's low. That's also a possible area that USDCHF could go to. That's 64.84. That's like that's 24 pips from the Asian low. So these are areas. Ideally, I'm mapping out areas where you could be looking for opportunities to go long, because we've seen long term we are looking for buy opportunities, right? So where I would want to see USDCHF go to is one. If we go to higher time frames, I want to map out this order block over here as my first take profit. 86.48. So you could call that 86.50. So that from the current market price, that's around 125 pips, right? So that is what we are looking at. Remember, this is purely educational analysis. And for more on this, make sure that you attend free classes in our FX Pesa offices in Nakuru, Eldoret, and Thika. And so that is an area. So if I were to map it out now, based on this, so I will be looking for opportunities to go short from the current market price, 85.27, a 20 pips drop, or is it a 40 pips? A 43 pips drop. However, I see more of a 20 pips drop. So a test of the Asian low, right? A test of this Asian low, which is what we've seen as the lowest price, and then a push up. So ideally, I'm looking for opportunities to buy. Sorry. Okay. So I'm looking for opportunities to buy. I'm looking for opportunities to buy USDCHF at 85.07. And my first take profit will be 86.48. 86.50 would also be a good number. So that is a 125 pips. But ideally, as traders, we need to understand that we need to have a lot of trade management, right? That's a skill we really need to have. When you're talking about trade management, what are we saying? We are saying that you shouldn't let a trade go to 150 pips, without booking profits. So along the way, if it's 50 pips, book your profits. If it's 100 pips, book your profits, and then let the rest of the trade to play out. So how do you do that? Maybe if you're using a lot size of 0.05, you could decide to divide that into 3 positions. So you have a 0.02 position, another 0.02 position, and another 0.01 position. So the first 0.02 position, you close it at 50 pips. The next 0.02 position, you close it at 100 pips. Then the 0.01 position can go all the way to the desired take profit of 125 pips, right? So what happens is that in case of any retracement, you've already booked some money, so you're not scared, right? And after if a trade has hit your take profit one, make sure that you adjust your stop loss, right? So ideally, if you're looking at maybe 85.07, you're looking at a stop loss that is way below even yesterday's low. We've seen this is yesterday's low, 84.84. So you're looking at maybe 84.75 as an area where you could set out your stop loss. So if that's the case, then when your take profit one has been hit, which will probably be 85.57, move your take profit, move your stop loss into profit. Move your stop loss to maybe 85.10. Right, so that is 3 pips in profit. So what happens is that in case of a retracement, you've already secured, so you're not scared, like, oh, what will happen to this trade? So if your stop loss is hit, you can always make a decision on whether to re-enter that trade based on the confirmations once again. So that is what we call trade management, right? Which helps you with your emotions, because majority of the reasons why we do not hold our trades for long is because of emotion. So you feel like, I am not sure whether to book this profit. I am not sure whether to hold this trade for 120 pips, all those emotions that are playing out, right? So this push could happen maybe as we get into NFP. That is a possible scenario that could play out. Now, that is USDCHF. GBPUSD. So analysis. So where is the analysis from last week? Maybe. So we were looking for buy opportunities. That trade played out, and then we can see the short opportunity. So let's remove all these analyses. Yeah, so just like we've seen on USDCHF, we want to see a dip before a bullish push. So on on GBPUSD also, we could probably be looking at a bullish push before a bearish push. So if we go to higher time frames, what would we be looking at? I would probably want to see a test of this candle over here, that 164. Maybe that's could be too far, but then this is GU is quite volatile, so it can easily get to that price level. So a push to that 164 is an area I will be interested to see. However, there's also another area here, which is yesterday's high, just like we've seen on USDCHF yesterday's low. So yesterday's high here, which is like 10 pips, there isn't much of a difference. That 154, that's a 10 pips difference. So a test of yesterday's high would give me a better entry. Remember, at times we're looking for good entries, so that for those guys who are looking at going taking maybe a 5% risk, then they take it with so much courage. Unlike when you decide to take a 5% risk on your account, and yet you're buying, so in this case you're selling GU at 31, let's say even 25, right? So you get nervous every time the trade is going up. So ideally, you need to map out areas where you look for opportunities to buy or sell. So in my case, I don't see a reason as to why I would sell here. This for me will be form of fear of missing out. I'm missing out the short opportunity. So I would want to, based on my trading plan, I'm looking for areas where you look for sell opportunities, and for me it's areas of resistance. So in my resistance, I'm either looking at yesterday's high or that order block we've mapped out. So ideally, in this case, I would want to see a bullish push either to yesterday's high or to what we've mapped out, an order block, that 164, and then from there, that's when I can now start looking for opportunities to go short. And the areas I'm looking for short opportunities is to this moving average here, the 800 moving average, 39.64, 8. So I'll be looking at 39.75. Yeah. So if we go to, let's say, H4, uh, this is what I'll be looking at. Short opportunities from that 154 or that 164. And then look for that drop for around 178 pips. So that is what I'm looking at on GBPUSD. A bullish push and then a bearish push. Okay, let's look at Euro USD. Euro USD, we're also looking at short opportunities. So let's remove everything here. So if we go to higher time frames, once again, let's look at the daily. What do you have on the daily? Do you have something on the weekly? So we have seen some bit of support here on the weekly. So I'm just mapping out possible areas of support. Okay. So if we go to lower time frames, Euro USD looks like it's dropping, right? And ideally, we would want to see a drop to this moving average, 1.0998, right? you can even call it 1.1000 either. So just like GU, I wouldn't be really caught up in the formal. What I would want to see is maybe a test to either the Asian high or yesterday's high. That's like a 4 pips difference, right? So ideally, if this trade was to come back up to 1072, then that's where I would be looking for opportunities to go short. And in this case, I'll be selling from 3172 all the way to 1.1 thousand. That's around 60 something pips. Huh? So that will be my take profit one on this trade. However, there's also another area where we'll be looking for opportunities for another take profit, maybe 1.0971. So if we tested this, maybe let's drop this to this moving average over here. Yeah, that's an area I would want to see now some support playing out at 1.0962. So we have two areas that I would be interested to see how they hold. We have 1.1000 and then also 1.0962. Those are areas, possible areas of support that maybe we could see Euro USD get to. This could play out today, or this could play out as we get into NFP. Yeah, so that is what I'm looking at on Euro USD. So on Bitcoin, this is the analysis I was looking at on Bitcoin. This was last week. Last week I was looking for a bullish push. No, this has been the analysis from, I think, let's see. I need to look at H1. Yeah, so we were looking for a bullish push on Bitcoin, but then again after that we were looking now for that bearish push. So I'm still bearish on Bitcoin to this price level. I think it was 42.82 or thereabout. Yeah. So that's the only area. If Bitcoin gets to, then I will be looking for opportunities to buy. Right. So once again, I won't be caught up in the whole FOMO, fear of missing out, the bullish trend. No. Ideally, at some point in time, maybe Bitcoin could cross 100,000 by end of the year. But then for now, we are looking for these short opportunities. Maybe when we get here, as we get closer to the US election, then some of these things will become clearer. Because remember, we've seen Trump say that he wants to make the US the crypto capital. So if Trump wins, then we expect Bitcoin to skyrocket, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's look at UT100. Our analysis on UT100. Remember, in our last session, we were talking about this FVG. I remember even there's someone who was asking me what is an FVG, and I explained that we're expecting UT100 to drop to this price level, and then after that maybe be bullish. And we can see that drop that played out. However, we can see the bullish play didn't play out, so there was that further dip, and then maybe we can see this bullish push. So let's remove everything and try and see where is Nasdaq headed, UT100 on our platform. So once again, let's go to higher time frames, get to have an understanding of where we are. So we can see a strong arm over here on the moving average on the 50 EMA. So in this case, I'm probably looking for buy opportunities on the UT100. I'm looking for buy opportunities. So in this case, I'll just want to map out an area of support. Excuse me, sorry guys. Uh, yeah, so that's an area of support. However, I would also want to map out another area of support. This is based on a moving average. However, let's do with more of price action. Let's do more of last week's low. So remember, this is H4. So on H4, everything between these period separators represents last week's price action, right? So, and the lowest price last week was 19,066. So if I were to look for opportunities on Nasdaq, I'll be looking for a dip to this low, test of this low. However, knowing Nasdaq, it could come all the way to this 800 moving average and then a bullish push. So if I were to project these, then I'll be looking for short opportunities on Nasdaq to this price level 19,066, maybe a further if we see a further dip, and then from there maybe that's when I'll be looking for long opportunities on Nasdaq. So that's the outlook I have on UT 100. So a dip to this low and then a further. So when it drops here, we can see ideally there will be a formation of a double bottom, right? You see a W pattern playing out, and then maybe we could now then see a bullish push. Okay, so let's look at Audi USD. So in our last analysis, we were looking for opportunities to buy. We were looking for opportunities to buy to this level. Yeah, Audi USD didn't get to that price level. So what are we looking at? We need to look for short opportunities. However, long term, we're looking for bullish opportunities. So let's go to the daily. So this was the area we were looking at, right? So we can see the moving average here, the 800 has held. You know, it's been a strong resistance. But then again, I don't know for how long this should hold. So let's remove this one. So if we were to look for opportunities, what will be the outlook? So once again, just like we've seen on GBPUSD, Euro USD, we are looking for short opportunities. So if we go to H4, maybe that's an area we will be interested to see how. Yes. So I'm looking for a bullish push to maybe let's see on M15. Audi USD can't really get to that level. So ideally, I would want to see a push to 67.62. 67.62, which is what we 67.61 or thereabout. And then from there, then we can see maybe we can see a short opportunity playing out for around 70 pips. To this moving average over here. So I wouldn't be caught up in maybe a bearish push. At least we don't have a bearish push here. So I would still want to see that test of 67, 61, and then now we can see a bearish push. Gold, what are we looking at on gold? So last week, once again, let's go to H1. So on gold last week, we were looking for gold to come to this price level. Yeah. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no. So yeah. So this was the analysis. This was supposed to be Tuesday last week, right? So we were looking for short opportunities, and then based on our analysis, we were only looking for opportunities to buy gold at 24.94. So this played out on Wednesday. right? On Wednesday, this gold trade came all the way to our entry, and we can see our support held to the pip, almost to the pip, right? And we can see that strong close in a hammer. And then from there, we can see that bullish push. Although price didn't get to the area we had anticipated, but we can see now what really played out, right? That will, once again, look at what I'm saying about trade management. You don't have to wait for this trade to push all the way to your ideal area. So once again, going back to that context of, if you're using a lot size of 0.05, divide it into three. So 0.02, 0.02, and 0.01. So the first 0.02, maybe you book 100 pips on maybe the moving average. Maybe the next move, because this was now Wednesday, right? On Thursday, we can see this trade came to yesterday's high. So if we map out this one, we can see it came to the previous day high. So maybe you could have booked your profit on this price level, take profit too, as you wait for the other 0.01 position maybe to go to your take profit. But once again, make sure that once take profit one has been hit, move your stop loss in profit. Now you see why you need to move your stop loss in profit, because this trade didn't get to take profit 3. So we can see that bearish push came back to the entry. So you don't really want to have a trade that is in negative, and yet, you could have, protected your entries. So we can see this area is holding. What was this? It was based on, no, it must have been something on higher time frame. So let's remove everything and map out gold afresh. So go to higher time frames, try to get a clear picture of what's happening on gold. So for me, I would want to map out this area over here. I see that area as an area that is acting as, that could act as an area of support on the daily. So let's go to lower time frames. So map out that area, and then once you go to H1, try and get to see whether this trade will play out. So if I were to look for opportunities on gold, so we can see gold has tested yesterday's high, right? So we can see this close of candle almost like there's a rejection. It's almost like a rejection candle playing out, right? This is because of it's yet to get to yesterday's high. So yesterday's high is an area maybe where we could see gold test. However, on gold, I would want us to test 2513. Test 2513. So this is the projection I would want to see on gold. And then after that, then we can look for opportunities to go short. Maybe to what we've seen on H4. Is this possible? Yes. Gold is quite volatile. We all know gold. So that is an area I'll be looking out on, especially on gold. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we can have a look at Apple. We were looking at this gap. I remember we had been waiting for this gap to close, so it's not yet closed. But yeah, we should see this gap close. Last week we were looking at, there's someone who had requested for an analysis on USD, on Euro NZD. So we had that area, take profit 1 and take profit 2. I think we had take profit up until take profit 3, right? And we can see all these areas were hit on NZD, Euro NZD, sorry. So what's the difference between 200 EMA, which is better? So the 200 EMA covers the 200 days, and then 800 covers 800. So 800 is more powerful. It tends to reduce the number of noise, right? Yeah, it's more powerful when it comes to acting as an area of support or resistance. What do we expect on NFP to USD JPY? Ideally, there's a lot we need to, that can only come out clearly on Thursday when we see the unemployment claims. That's when probably we'll have a better understanding of how we could anticipate that the moves to come out. Still early for me. So unemployment claims on Thursday will have a better outlook. Can we see gold make higher high this week? Okay, it's a possibility that could play out. However, technically, I'm looking at short opportunities. But then again, who knows? Gold can easily get here and then be bullish, right? It's a possibility that could play out. We could see gold go all the way up. So we can't rule that out, Brian. Any other question? Most promising pair to trade today and this week, traps Cardi. I hope I've just said it right. So we've done a few analyses. We've looked at USDCHF. We've looked at GBPUSD. Those are the outlooks. We've also looked at Euro USD. Yeah, those are the trades. We've also looked at Audi USD. So those are some of the trades that we are looking at. Remember, once again, this is purely educational analysis, guys. Any other question? So none, no other questions. So once again, let me do a recap of what I've just said. We'll be having a pips and branch in USD JPY, please. Hillary, if we look at USD JPY, let's see. Sorry, where is USD JPY? How comes it's not here? Okay, it's here. USD JPY. So there was a test of yesterday's high. So let's go to H4. I'm looking for buy opportunities on USD JPY. So let's see. So if I were to look for opportunities on USD JPY, what will be the outlook? 44.55, H4. Wow. Okay. Okay. We can see trades coming in to those to that moving average. Remember, this was once again. Look at how powerful yesterday's high played out as an area of resistance. So this was yesterday's high. So today USD JPY has gone to yesterday's high, and then we can see that drop that has played out. So you can use the moving averages to book your profit on the 50, on the 200, and on the 800. I'm looking for buy opportunities. Remember, we've seen we expect the dollar to be strong, right? At least that's what technically we are looking at. So on USD JPY, knowing how volatile it could be, however, I would want to see maybe a drop to that, and then maybe from there we could see a bullish push. Oh, Tracy. Okay. Please analyze USD card. USD card. Let's have a look at it then. Though time is not on our side, but then again, let's do this. USD card. Let's remove everything that we had over here. So what are we looking at? Let's go to higher time frames. Let's see. So USD card has been playing out weekly. What's the weekly like? Okay, monthly. That 587. So if I were to look for opportunities on USD card, I'll be looking also for buy opportunities. Yeah, so I'll be looking for opportunities to buy USD card. Can we see a test? So I'm looking for an area of support. So 3483 will be an area I'm looking at for possible support on USD card based on the Asian low. Once again, the lowest price today in the Asian session. So I'll be looking for opportunities to buy USD card for around 100 pips. That will be my outlook on USD card. A buy at 134.83. Yeah, anything above here, 134, 135, 1.3500, then should present us with a good buy opportunity. Yeah, that's the last one. So Euro JPY, do I have Euro JPY? My goodness. Okay. Control Euro JPY. Do I have Euro JPY here? Euro JPY. Let's look at it. Okay, the dips, huh? So it seems like the yen is quite strong. Boom. Okay. So go to higher time frames, daily, go to the weekly, go to the monthly. Okay. So yesterday's low has been tested. If we go to H4, what's the last week's low? So last week's low will be here. So we've seen Euro USD is dropping, right? So based on that, then maybe we should see a continuation of the bearish push on Euro JPY. So remember, this push is because the yen is quite strong, right? As we have seen on USD JPY. So the yen is strong, and then the euro is still weak. So if you combine a weak euro and a strong yen, we can see this downward push play out. Yeah, so that's Fintel. That will be my two-piece outlook on Euro JPY. So once again, sorry guys, let's do a recap. Once again, we've said we'll be having live trading sessions in our satellite offices in Nakuru, Tower 1, third floor, and also we'll be having another one in Eldoret, where I will be in Eldoret. So for our Eldoret clients, tupatane LD, right? For more insights. So this is what I've just shared. So kindly register, go to the FXPesa Facebook channel or all our handles, IG, TikTok. Just come here, register for this event. Say you'll be attending, whether you're in Nakuru, you'll be attending in our office on the third floor. Rupa's Mall, third floor. Indigo co-working space in Westlands. Rufus will also be there for those who are in Nairobi. Come for this, get our insights, and then maybe later enjoy the live session. Remember, this will be from 1 p.m. So 1 p.m., be there, be seated, network with other traders, and look out for the market insights from 2, right, as we wait for NFP at 3:30. So make sure that you register. Cheers, guys. Have a peaceful day and a bullish week. Bye-bye.